Within your Hyperdoc, you also want to make sure that you're using the 5 C's. So that's being creative. You need to make sure that your students have the chance to go and create something from the knowledge that they've got or from whatever it is that you're doing in your classroom. Give them a chance to create. You also want to make sure they're getting a chance to collaborate with each other and also maybe even collaborate with you, allowing your students to work together. Now, collaboration will also help with a lot of these other C's that we're going to talk about here. It'll help with them connecting. So connecting is not just about with each other in the classroom. Connecting is about them being global participators. And so that's connecting with people, whether it be through social media. They might connect with someone in another country to help them to develop their language fluency. So they might organize a hangout or a Skype meeting or something with someone overseas to practice their Japanese. And then we might also have people who are connecting to professors at a university to get further information about a topic that is of interest to them, or they might connect with the author of the book that they've been reading in English. Next is communication, and so collaboration and connecting will help to develop your students' communication skills, but you want to be giving them as much chance to do that, and that's not just working with each other, but it might also be with what they're creating. So they might be creating something that is used for communication, much like what I'm doing right now. And finally, you want to make sure that your students are critical thinkers, making sure that your students are thinking through, is this valid, is this not valid, analyzing data, critiquing what is in front of them so that they, at the end of the day, have the skills that are required for when they're looking at anything, any kind of information on the internet. They need to be able to work out, is this reliable, is this not? And so giving them the skills to be critical thinkers is very important. The final thing I want to do is just walk you through this little diagram here. Now, in this diagram, you can see that there are 4 levels to using Google Hyperdocs. Okay, so you might be here at number 1. So this is brand new to you. You're exploring the new solutions to technology. You've never really heard of Hyperdocs before. You're looking at some other Google tools that exist. You might be looking at Google Sites. You might be looking at Canva. You might be looking at Insert Learning, all these things I've just mentioned. You might be going off and finding out what they actually are. That might be you. You might be the crawler who's just gotten introduced to this. Or you might be at level number 2. You might be beginning to create your own Hyperdocs. So here you're looking at creating maybe just one lesson and really trying to customize that for your students and that, practicing your workflow and stuff. And you're beginning to reimagine previous lessons that you've had and how you can possibly change them or improve them using a Hyperdoc. Number 3, you start looking at the impact. So you're really running here. You're starting to make not just lessons, you're starting to create units that go together. You're reflecting on your progress with your Hyperdocs, and you're considering all the new possibilities that are out there, particularly around what you can do with technology. And then the final one here is level 4, where you're really beginning to transform. You're flying. You are the pro of Hyperdocs. So here you're sharing your Hyperdocs, and you're sharing like whole units of Hyperdocs. You're beginning to transform your space so that it's a bit more blended and allows for greater student autonomy in their learning, more student responsibility for their learning. And you're starting to make connections beyond your classroom. So you might be talking to that author of the book that your students are reading, or you might be connecting to a professor when you're looking at health priorities in Australia or something. So there we have it. That's Hyperdocs. I hope you enjoyed the little series. If you like this video, please share it, like it, comment, let me know. If you have any questions, please comment below as well. Thank you.